Has this ever happened to you? You go downstairs in the basement, go get the ladder to work on your project, and next thing you know, you're drawn to this photo album box. You start checking out all the different pictures of your family and loved ones. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. Sometimes the words can be happy. Sometimes the words can be sad. Without a vision, the people will perish. That applies to relationships too. Everyone ends up somewhere, but only a few end up somewhere on purpose. Man, I can just imagine what Tim is thinking right now as he's looking at his little son, Jaron. We have all this time together and we're going to have a great relationship. But the truth of the matter is, as Jaron was getting older, Jaron would ask Dad to go out and play basketball. And, well, Jaron idolized his dad, but his dad idolized his job. Then there's this brother and sister that came from a divorced home. After the divorce, there came a lot of friction in the home. And Mom found Jesus Christ. Also the daughter did. And during that time, also a godly man came in to the mother's life. She got married and that was just too much for the son. He just didn't want to hear about Jesus Christ anymore, and he could not wait to leave the home. Here's Terry and Janice. They both started off so exciting, so fresh as a couple. In fact, a lot of people would look at them and think that they were a perfect couple. But years later, Terry developed a secret life that Janice knew nothing about. It led to separation and then finally divorce. Every relationship ends up somewhere. But only a few relationships end up somewhere on purpose. What is your vision for your relationship? Remember that God wants to make them better than new. There's still hope. Many years after Terry and Janice divorced, Terry hit rock bottom. He finally cried out to Jesus Christ and repented of his ways. He called up Janice and asked Janice if she would be willing to take him back, and she was. Here I hold in my hand a picture of their adult children standing around them as they get remarried. I'm happy to say that Terry and Janice, after many years, are still happily married, and they're both serving and having a relationship with Jesus Christ. That brother and sister, well, that brother today is serving Jesus Christ. In fact, he's the one that, when he goes to the house and talks to the sister or mom, he wants to talk about Jesus Christ because he loves Jesus Christ with a passion. Tony and Denise, brother and sister, have a greater relationship today than they've ever had. When Jaron got into his late teens, Tim, his daddy, that job that he once idolized, cut him back many, many hours. So many hours that he literally thought he was going to lose his job. But it woke something up within inside Tim. And it made him realize what really mattered in life. And today, he finally has a relationship with his son that God always wanted. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, what will be the words that tell the story of your life? Every relationship ends up somewhere. But only a few relationships end up somewhere on purpose.